welcome to Reality Tea Times 2, the podcast where we discuss all the trash reality TV we love to hate. I'm Tanika, and today we are going to be discussing Sister Wives, episode 2. So, of course, we have Letitia here with us again, that we're going to be going into that recording in a minute. So, this is just to pre-warn, we are going to be kind of talking about Garrison to an extent, with the passing of Garrison. So that's going to be kind of brought up a little bit in there. We are going to be talking a little bit of Plathville as well. Nothing really about the last episode, so there shouldn't be any spoilers where that's concerned. It'll be more about the previous episodes. I do mention a little bit of my feelings about certain things that have happened that do kind of say a trigger warning right before I say it, but it might not be something anyone wants to necessarily hear or agree with, but it's just where my thoughts and my feelings were at. So that might be a little triggering. So if that happens, just skip ahead like maybe 10 seconds and you should pass it and you should be fine. Yeah, that's kind of that. So yeah, now I'm going to transition over into that portion of the episode with Letitia. Okay, so here we are talking Sister Wives. And I'm sorry if you can hear my bird chipping in the background because he decides he wants to wake up and chip. All right. So again, we'll just stick to a similar format, just kind of going through different things in this episode. There's a lot of anger-inducing things, of course, in this episode.
This episode irritated me.
We'll talk about it. Christine irritated me. Kody irritated me. Robin irritated me. Everyone irritated me.
Everyone irritated me, except for what's her face.
Meri didn't irritate me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Except for Meri, because I'm just like,
she was barely in the episode, honestly.
Right.
To irritate me, you know. But she's the only person that's like over this shit. So
yeah, she's completely. You can tell she's over it. Absolutely.
So, kind of the first thing that I kind of made note of is the fact, because it's going to be important throughout the episode, is that Janelle doesn't feel like she needs to have an official divorce. She feels like, since they weren't legally divorced or legally married, that she doesn't necessarily need to have official divorce. But also, I guess, even religiously speaking, she doesn't feel like she needs to do that.
Right.
So, she's fine with how things are currently in the separation between her and Kody. Again, this will be important throughout. So, they're kind of the hot topic in this episode is Coyote Pass, where Janelle's concerned, and kind of where she stands, whether or not she'll build or whatever. But she also doesn't have any information because obviously they still have to buy out or finish paying for the land, or otherwise they'll lose the sale. And she just doesn't know what's going on there.
Right.
So her biggest thing is that Kody says that I'm not going to tell Janelle anything because I don't trust her. So I'm not going to tell her about what's going on with the property. Sir, trust ain't got shit to do about shit.
Not a damn thing to do about it.
No. If she has stakes in this land, legally speaking, she has every right to know what is going on with this property. You do not get to dictate what she gets to know or not know about the property.
That part. Exactly.
So your trust in her, neither here nor there.
Yeah.
So they kind of talk about the fact that, the family, financially speaking, would always be there for each other. I think we saw kind of the cracks with that with Meri getting the B&B, but whatever. I'm happy it ended up the way it did because she has that all for herself.
Exactly. That's hers, and she doesn't have to share it with anybody.
She doesn't have to worry about it. So I'm happy she did that, or went through with it. But because that's her family's, that's in her family.
Exactly.
So like you don't want to be kind of mixing up this, the heritage with married family and with how things were going. But Janelle kind of says, like, it's been more, I guess, since Robin's entered the picture, that they're more concerned about, or Kody is more concerned about having these separate, like, estates. And she mentions that when Robin bought the house they are currently in, at least at the time of recording, because I know they've put the house up for sale, so I don't know. But she suggested, I guess, to make sure, because all of their equity, all of their money was going into this house, to Robin's house. So I guess as a safety net, Janelle says, why not put all of our names on the mortgage?
I
And
agree.
I think that makes sense.
Absolutely.
And Kody says, no, I want everyone to have their own estates. And obviously, this has been since they've moved to Flagstaff. So to me, and this was before COVID, this is before all of that. Not long before COVID, but still before that, that she's been in this house. It feels to me like he's been planning for this to happen.
Hit the nail on the head.
Yeah. And
I
I
had that
mean,
same feeling.
I think with Meri 1,000%, because he kind of alludes to that. But he's definitely planning for what is going on now to go on with the separation of this family. Okay, sorry, we had to take a quick break there. So we'll start back. Where was I? I think I was
You
just
were
kind of
talking about Kody was like Kody had this, like, he was planning
plan.
this.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think I think I'm I think I'm good there. Um, so but Maddie and Janelle are, because they're driving to look at this property, which we're not going to really talk much about, but it's a property in Montana near Utah, whatever. Um, I think it was Montana, whatever. So it was in a different state near Salt Lake. So they're talking about this, the property and everything, and Maddie's like, so like, is he gonna pay it? Why isn't he paying it? And Janelle's like, well, he says debts or whatever. And she's like, what debts? I don't know. I don't know.
Yep.
But it's a good question. What does the nanny do? So Robin says, so they're kind of talking about the finances, and Robin's kind of like, I wasn't always good with money. I guess I'm trying to say that she is good with money or whatever. But basically, like, however you guys want to, spend your money is how it's for you. And it's just like,
But bitch,
are,
you were
are
in debt.
and did they not pay their debt? Like, pay her debt?
They paid. She was like $30,000 in debt. They helped her.
They helped her pay the debt.
So
I
yes, the
remember
money
that.
that yes. So the money that what's her face Janelle put into the home, she has every right to get back.
Yes.
So clearly, she's so Robin is so stupid to say that. Oh, what money do I owe you, bitch? Let me tell you. Let me write it down in black and fucking white. Because you were in debt for like $30,000. We put our money together to help you. We put our money to help you purchase the home that your ass is living in.
Yeah.
So what do you mean? If you sell that house, then yes, I'm entitled to a portion of that money.
Yeah.
What are you not understanding?
Now, my only question is because, like, I'm thinking, what would Judge Judy say? Judge Judy would say, well, you did it because you guys were in whatever relationship here, right? You were a family.
Yeah.
If there was no contract saying that whatever whatever I put into this house, I get back if you sell it. That wasn't in like some sort of contract, some sort of written contract, which I'm going to assume it wasn't.
Yeah.
They could fight that they don't have to give her anything.
They
And they
unfortunately.
probably would win.
Oh yeah. Because
that's the unfortunate part.
I was reading that Kody is not even on any of the birth certificates of his children.
See, I would understand that actually because it would because that's we have to remember in Utah it was illegal to be in a polygamous relationship, right?
Yeah.
So basically, to protect that, he couldn't have been on the children's birth certificates. He couldn't have been on any of their birth certificates. Because if you have this one man who's going to be on, at that time, like 12 or 13 children's birth certificates amongst three women at the time, and then now obviously more, um, it doesn't look good. They're gonna catch on that there's something going
Yeah.
on. So I'm not surprised by that. It's kind of like the path. Like honestly, the paths are worse because they didn't even get their children birth certificates prior to being on the show.
I'm sorry, Plathville doesn't have certificates for their children?
They do now, but they didn't initially. No. So do you watch Plathville, right?
Not
Yeah, that's fine. Um,
really my cup of tea.
his family's fucked. Anyway, um, Micah, which is one of the older ones, he's
Mhm.
in a relationship right now with a girl, and she basically jokes with him that he's only 7 years old because that's how long he's had a birth certificate. And he's like 23. Yeah. That quiverful man, let me tell you. Which I just don't understand like why you wouldn't have a birth certificate for your kids, even if like you're not gonna let them drink Coke or watch Spider-Man, like whatever. But like I'm telling you, honestly, that father, Slenderberry, he drives me nuts. He scares the hell out of me. I don't find him attractive. I don't care if he's in his let me get buff era. Like I don't care. Ugh. I mean, no one on that show. This might be, I'm sorry, everybody. This is probably why I don't talk about the show because you're not gonna like the things I say. I can't with a single person on that show, including Olivia. I'm happy she's in this stage of life where she got rid of Ethan and
Yeah.
she's figuring herself out and she's realizing what she likes sexually and all of this. I'm here for her growth, okay?
About damn time.
But when I met the boyfriend and I saw them together, I wanted to puke. I love you. I love you.
Mhm.
I love you. I love you. Shut the fuck up. Sorry. And you're trying to tell me that that guy is rocking your world? Him?
Ew.
No, he's not. The theory is he basically went down on you and showed you a whole new world. That's what happened. And that would show you a whole new world if done correctly.
A place that something, something, something. Don't you dare
Never
close your
knew.
eye.
I mean,
Oh,
God,
God.
like how sheltered could you be though when you go on a date with somebody and he says, "Do you want to come back and see my cat?" and you not realize that that's him trying to say, "Come have sex with me." Like how? How? Like when she said that, I'm like, "Oh, honey," but she still had sex with him and she met the cat, so it was a win-win.
Oh my God.
But honestly, like everyone on that show drives me nuts. Everybody,
I can't, but I
everybody.
can't.
Alma Plath needs to redo her makeup. She's been stuck in the 80s with her makeup. Okay. Um,
All these short skirts and all this shit that she's wearing all of a sudden now, but her children couldn't wear that before.
no, no. And the whole like, oh, I had dishwashers. You, Ethan, Mariah. And I'm just like, yeah, you didn't take care of your fucking kids. You didn't raise your kids. They raised each other. They took care of each other. They fed each other. They bathed each other. And I'm sorry, I'm about to get a little dark here, so trigger warning for child loss. But girl, the only thing you were capable of doing was running over your child. So I'm gonna just go back to Sister Wives because it feels a little safer. Because I'm about to go off on Flaps. This is why I don't talk about them.
The show is just not there for me.
Like, Ethan is everything Donald Trump wants in America. That's Ethan. Ethan's who he envisioned. That's all I'm gonna say. So anyway, let's go back to Sister Wives because I feel like that's better. So when they kind of see the Montana property and Janelle's all about it, she loves the idea. She kind of wants to live off the grid and all of that. Fine. I mean, I don't know if she said
Mm-hmm.
that, but that's what I'm taking from what she's saying here. And
Right.
Janelle's like, you know, if Chanel moved, it would devastate me. Like, I still have hope that like she's gonna like her and Kody can like work it out. Like,
It's not happening.
I still have hope about Meri, and I definitely still have hope about Janelle. Bitch. Maybe I'm an idiot for thinking that there's still hope, but yeah,
Absolutely.
yes, you are. Stop there to say I might be an idiot. Yep. Like, no. Meri has about fucking had it. Like, you want her to stay in a
Exactly.
loveless, sexless relationship with this fucker?
While you can sit down there and enjoy having a sex life with this person.
And at least he respects you. He doesn't respect his other wives. And you want them to stay in a relationship like that? Like, are you fucking dumb? And Janelle, listen, Janelle's the kind of person that even if she's not handling things maybe the way certain people want her to, once she puts her mind to something, it's fucking done. She's
Yeah,
done.
she's done.
But I have hope I would be devastated. Be devastated. Be fucking devastated. And you know, her daughters, we'll get to them. Not there. The only person I like is the one who's not on the show because he had sense. And that's her son, her older son.
Done. Yeah.
He has fucking, because let's be real, the beauty of autistic people is they're not going to take your shit.
No, they're not.
Trust me. I know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Christine is, so we kind of go back. Everyone's kind of gathering to have dinner together, the kids, her, whatever. And she's like,
Yeah.
yeah, Janelle's already, she's back in Flagstaff already. Like, I just need to know what's going on. Why?
Why? It's
Why
none
do
of your
you need
blasted
to know what's
business.
going on? This isn't your separation. Like, I feel like
Exactly.
you want to live vicariously through Janelle because you want to relive the separation and how liberate, and that's fine. It was, but you already got to go through that. So allow
Exactly.
Janelle to go through it in the way she sees fit. And I think what's
Exactly.
going on? Why?
Why? It's none of your business. Leave her be. Like, okay, Christine's pissing me off
Yep,
because why do you want to be all in Janelle's business?
because she's bored.
Like, bro, like, oh, are you leaving Kody? Have you told him that? Have you did this? Have you did that? And then like when Janelle comes out and says it's frustrating, fuck yeah, it's frustrating.
But I wish Janelle would tell that to Christine instead of telling
Yeah,
it just
it's
to
like
the camera.
leave me alone.
Let me do this the
Tell
way
her
I
that it's
need to.
yeah, tell her that you're frustrating me. Tell her that you're being fucking annoying. Let me do what I need to do on my own without you asking me 1,001 questions, bitch.
The one thing that I will say is Christine has always bothered me. Has always bothered me.
Oh,
She got a redeeming quality when she decided to leave his ass. So
oh
I
yeah.
liked you a little bit more. But she has always bothered me. So she's resorting back to you bother me. And
Yeah.
this is just, she always has to be in people's business or whine
Always.
or when things don't go. Because that's the one thing that I'll say about Kody is he's right when he says, like, she's a stubborn person. She has
Yeah,
to
she
have
is.
things her way. And if it's not
Yeah.
done her way, she has a hissy fit because she was a spoiled brat. She came into this family as a spoiled brat that has to
I
have
wonder
things
how
done
the
her
new
way.
marriage is like her.
Yeah. So it's just like, girl, let her do what she needs to do in the way that she needs to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, So she's like, I just don't know, like, where do I throw my support? Do I throw my support in the fact that she's leaving Kody, or do I throw my support in that she's leaving, staying in Flagstaff?
Throw your support up your ass and leave her the hell alone.
Or how about your
You mind your
support?
business.
That's all, just mind. If the support that you're confused about how to give, just provide whatever she needs whenever she needs it. If she's still trying to figure out how to go about the property and if she wants to stay in Flagstaff, then let her. That's how you support her. You support her and say, you will figure this out. I'm here if you need to talk, you need to vent. That's how you support her. If she decides she wants to stay with Kody, well, then that's how you support her. It's stupid. We can all agree on that. But that's not what she's saying, anyways. But it's just like, if that is what you wanted to do, support her through that. And she
Yeah,
didn't. When she was contemplating trying to make it work, you didn't support her there. So
exactly.
really, it's not about where do I throw my support, is what am I supporting? Because I don't want her to go back. It's Christine, it's all about her.
Yeah,
She wants her
absolutely.
companion.
Yep. That's all she
Find a
wants is her
man.
companion.
Yeah, it's just like I mean, you do, but like, it's find a man, put your energy into that, and let Janelle deal with what she needs to deal with.
Thank you.
So Peyton got a job at a gentleman's club as a bouncer. Good for you. That's great. Um, maybe you'll be one of those gentlemen in the gentleman's club. Who knows?
Oh my God.
This is not the Utah that I grew up in. This is not the Utah that I thought my family would grow up in. It's like things changed in 30 years. I don't know what to tell you. I'm sure there's gentlemen's clubs in Utah anyways, you just didn't know.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So, um, so then we see Christine and Janelle meeting up because while she's in Flagstaff, I can't remember why she said she was in Flagstaff, but anyways, um, so she's like, you know, is she like with him or is she like not with him? And it's like she has told you how many fucking times she's not with
But
him.
she's not with him. Like, what
She
more do
doesn't
you need
want
to
to.
know?
You're just not satisfied. Why? Because she has to do everything. You're the one who wanted to go back to Utah so badly. You're crying about the fact that you want to go back to Utah. That was
Mm-hmm.
your journey. No one else wanted to go back to Utah. It was just you.
Yep.
Like, um, so Janelle has been thinking about asking him to buy her out of the property, which I think honestly is probably the best thing.
Yep.
Like I know like she had this vision of what her property would look like because she wanted to
Yep.
have her greenhouse and all of that. And that's sad, but this might be the best thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when she says, "I might," mm,
I was reading something along the lines of her son Garrison, because he purchased a house, right?
I think he purchased with Hunter as well, didn't he?
Well, from the article that I read, it goes and says that he purchased the house. It didn't mention anything about Hunter
Hmm.
and how the house is going on the market. So people were talking about, um is the assets going to be between Christine and Kody?
Was Garrison Christine?
Sorry,
Janelle.
Garrison is Janelle. So the assets, are they going to be, is the house assets going to be split between Janelle and Kody? But in my mind, I'm just like, if he doesn't sign a birth certificate or anything of that nature, who are you, sir?
Well, it depends on who, like, I mean, obviously he was young. He probably didn't have a will. So I'm not sure how that goes, but it would probably go through like I think it's called testate, I think it's what it's called.
In my
When you
opinion, all the assets from that house, money, whatever, should go to his mom.
should. I don't know how the laws work in terms of, I mean, honestly, it becomes But they wouldn't be able to do paternity tests at this point anyways. But he could have demanded that.
Mm-hmm.
Um so like I don't know. I don't know. That's some
Robin
legal
and
shit
Kody,
that I don't know.
if Robin and Kody refuse to give any money to Janelle from that property or their house, let her take the full asset she gets from her son's house.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
No,
my
I
opinion,
guess it was Garrison's house and I think Hunter, not Hunter, Gabe was living with him.
right?
Right. Gabe was living with him. Um, and I imagine Gabe does not want to live in that house now. So I, because he was the one that found him, right?
Right.
Right. Yeah. So
So, but that's my opinion because let's say if that house is to get sold and Kody comes after whatever portion, that's going straight to him and Robin.
yes. And the kids that they have.
And I'm sorry, her children don't deserve that. And Robin doesn't deserve it, nor does Kody, in my opinion, because Kody wasn't even talking to Garrison.
And the thing that frustrates, like we don't know the full story, and I guess I'll kind of say it in this episode, is there's not a lot of information as to what happened between Cody and Robin and McKelty
Mm-hmm.
because McKelty's not saying a whole lot, and I do wonder if we are gonna see it at some point, then that's maybe why she's not saying anything.
Right.
Um, but it does appear that the issues seem to have started when Garrison passed away at the
Yep.
funeral. That's where it seems to kind of be like something happened at that funeral, which is really fucking sick. But something clearly was either said or whatever at the funeral. And that seems to be where things started to deteriorate between
Yeah.
McKelty and her father and Robin. Um, but it's like, have you not learned a fucking thing from the death of your son, your young son, that you would think maybe I need to step up? Like, I kind of hoped, like, this was tragic thing that happened that no parent should have to go through, no family should have to go through, but it happened. And you think that maybe he would take from that and say, life is too damn short. I need to have a relationship with my kids. And it's like, you're just not doing that. It's like you're doubling down even more. And
Mm-hmm.
maybe that's grief. And I can maybe understand that. It's going to take years to feel somewhat normal. I'm sure he's grieving for his child,
Oh yeah.
but then be present for the ones you have that are still in the physical world.
But he doesn't even want to do that.
It's sickening to me. He's fucking sickening, and so is Robin.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, like Maddie needs to try too. No, I'm 100% on
No,
Maddie's side.
why would she try? She's the child. He's an adult. Hello.
Yes. Now she is an adult, but she is your child.
Exactly. So no, she should don't
You
have to try.
exactly. And I 100% support the fact that she's saying he hasn't been in my kid's life, so we're not going to start now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, she has to protect her kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that's a shame. I'm sorry. Like, horrible.
Cody's a jackass.
Yeah, like these are your like I'm pretty sure
Robin,
Maddie's
Robin and Kody both deserve one another.
yeah. Like I'm pretty sure Maddie's kids, at least her son, I can't remember her son's name, Axel. Wasn't he like the first grandkid? I think.
I don't even remember who's the firstborn out of this family. No,
Because
Mary's
the
daughter's the firstborn.
I no, I don't think she's the firstborn. I think Logan. I think Logan is.
But didn't he marry Meri first? And they
Yeah,
had a
but Meri
child
was
first?
having problems getting pregnant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Um the babies didn't seem to all come until um all three of them were in the family, and
Mm.
they were all pregnant at the same time and stuff like that.
My
Um,
thing is, I do not like how Kody was talking about Meri. Oh, she had some issues and I didn't know about these things. Do you want a piece of gum? You know I don't like spearmint.
Now, do I think there's a world where that's true? Yeah, I do. Because there's been a lot that's come out of since the separations from all sources, including McKelty, that
Mhm.
Meri was a horrific person to live with. Like she was not a very nice person. And I do believe that there's truth in that and that she probably was like that. Um, but again, as the head, quote unquote, of household, Kody, isn't it not your job to hone in how your wives treat each other, how they treat how they treat you, how they treat the kids? Like, isn't that not your job as the patriarch?
As a patriarchy.
Like, it's just, I
Idiot.
feel like that's something you should have dealt with, and you didn't. And let's not forget this, she was 19 when she married you. We're all bitches at 19, you know?
This reminds me of I was
I love
watching.
Spearmint. She's wrong.
Oh my God. I was on TikTok scrolling. This is kind of out of nowhere, but I was on TikTok scrolling and Judge Judy showed up.
Love
And there
Judge
was a
Judy.
man named Tom Green. I don't know if you ever heard about a man named Tom Green.
Sounds familiar.
He was a polygamist man living in Utah,
Hmm.
and he had several wives throughout his life,
Hmm.
but his wives all started at the age of 14.
So
But
he's like a Warren Jeffs type situation.
yeah, like
Keep sweet type shit.
he started speaking to these children at the age of 13, having sex with them at 14, and
And it's like,
he had he had a mother and daughter duo where the mother and the daughter both had children for this man.
oh, this sounds so familiar. I don't know if his name was Tom Green, but
His name
there,
is Tom Green.
no. I'm talking about the person I'm thinking of. I don't know
Oh,
if it was him, but there's definitely a cult leader that did that, who had a mother-daughter duo.
and I'm just like, this is some like apparent like this is some shit. Apparently, this guy was on Jerry Springer as well. Yeah, he was on Jerry Springer. He was on Judge Judy because his
Judge
other
Judy
wives.
doing what?
Sorry,
Judge Judy doing what?
his older wives were suing him for child support, and then his other younger children, not even children, his younger wives are living off of welfare and everything like that. And this man can't even support his all of his children. He has 20 children. This man could not support his children because he sells magazines.
If it makes you feel any better, everybody, he died in 2021.
Of COVID, right?
Um, Let me see. I just see that he
I
died.
think he passed away of due to COVID or something like that.
Yeah, because he probably was an active actor. Not that I'm necessarily one who's for the corona virus, the COVID shot, anyways. But I mean, I did it, so because I had to.
But yeah, his name
Um,
is Tom Green, right?
Tom Green. He died. He
Mm.
was 72.
Yeah.
He was convicted on 4 counts of bigamy and one charge of criminal non-support for failure to take care of 9 of his children. It's just like, it's just like that guy too. You did you watch Seeking Sister Wife this past season?
Yeah.
Okay, so you remember the ones there that Becky and what was his name? can't remember his name, but that's the one where they literally travel to their potential sister wife's house and she's like, I'm with someone else.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
They're a part of a cult. Her
Okay.
her dad, who is actually not her biological father, because the biological father got kicked out of the club because he ended up marrying her mom, quote unquote, marrying her mom.
Oh my God.
His name is Tony Alamo. So when I heard the name Tony Alamo, I'm like, "Oh, shut up." I'm like, I've definitely heard that name before. And he too was involved with younger people. So like the whole thing about her and him getting married at like 16 and I think he was 18 or something like that.
Mhm.
I actually am curious if they're actually legally married. I don't know if I feel like that was not a legal marriage. That was and he was in the cult too. His family was in the cult as well. So they didn't say their real last name because he kept throwing out there that you are an Alamo. He's dead
Wow.
too. Um, but yeah, listen, I don't care. If you want to be in a polygamous relationship, I don't care. I don't have an issue with the FLDS. I don't care. Do you?
Yeah.
I don't care. It's when you start
Hmm.
getting involved with underage girls. That's where I have the problem. Y'all over there still being like Jeff Warren's is my prophet or whatever the fuck. Y'all need help.
Y'all disgusting.
Y'all need help.
Like you're brainwashing these kids.
Yeah. And they're having sex with this guy that's like, I mean, that shit was going on before Jeff Warren's. His dad was doing the same thing. Up until he died, he was marrying 13, 14-year-olds when he's like 80 something.
Me having a child close to that age,
Yeah.
that's still a baby to me.
Yeah.
What do you, as a grown ass 30 something, 40 something, 50 something year old man, see in a 12, 13, 14, 15-year-old child?
It's it's
Like you're
pedophiles.
raping these kids.
Yeah, they're pedophiles. Like I have been in a situation, like full disclosure, like I'm not gonna say names, nothing like that, but I was involved with a man who lied to me about his age, saying he was 19. I was 15. He was
Mm-hmm.
not 19. He was 24. And I figured, okay, whatever, because again, you're a teenager and you think it's exciting that this older guy is into you. But as you get as you get older, as I got older, and I wasn't as involved with him as I was getting older. We talked from time to time, that was it. But when I realized when I was 23, 22, 23, probably before that, because I was with at the time. So it would have, I said his name, I'm going to take his name out. But I was with at the time. And I think it would have been before, it was before for sure. So it would have been 21, 22. And
Yeah.
I remember him saying to me, oh, yeah, I'm involved with this girl who went to your old high school. And I was 22, let's say. He would have been 31. So it was at that point that I'm like, oh, you're a pedophile. Never spoke to him again. Like I literally said, you're fucking sick. You're fucking sick. I said, I don't want that a part of my world.
Yeah.
You're gonna get yours. And I'm frustrated with myself that I gave any part of myself to you because you
Yeah.
took advantage of me. You're fucking sick. So
Wow.
I don't get it either.
Mm.
I don't get it either. But um, so yeah, she's a thing of getting her out. So Christine's like, so like, is your marriage over? How many fucking times does this girl need to say yes, bitch, it's over? And she says yes, it's over. It's like, well, have you talked to him about that? No. She's like, I don't think like we don't talk to each other.
We
He
don't talk
avoids
to each
me.
other.
Like, I think it's pretty, not everything has to be
Obvious.
spelled out, you know?
Exactly.
They've gotten the memo, so like what the hell? So she kind of says like for herself, because that's what she needed for herself, that there was an ending point. So she
Right.
had she was able to move on. Okay, that worked. That's what you needed, and that worked for you.
Right.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that works for Janelle. And she's, why not just talk to him, like, and have that conversation, because this isn't about Janelle and Kody. This is about you and Janelle.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, you need to make that call. And this is where Janelle says that she's frustrated because she's like, my breakup is not going to look like your breakup. My relationship didn't look like your relationship. So, with that in mind, the breakup's going to look different as well. And if
Right.
they're okay with that, if Janelle and Kody are okay with how things look and how things have been done within their separation, leave it the fuck alone.
Alone. Yeah, I
Stay
agree.
in your fucking lane and let them deal with what they need to deal with.
Yeah.
Like, it's so frustrating. Um, but Meri finds it funny that Kody feels like there's like no communication between him and Janelle. She's like, bitch, you did that to me. Ain't karma a bitch? And I'm
Right.
like, Mary's here to play, and I'm loving it.
I'm all about it.
Keep it up. Um, but she's right. Like, you're complaining about that, yet you did it to me. So
Exactly. So what's the problem, sir?
exactly. You're just getting yours, that's all. But
But
Christine,
he doesn't like that now.
when it happens to poor Kody, that's when he doesn't like it.
Yeah.
Um, but Christine asked, like, would you go back? I think that may be like an okay question to ask, because we're a little unsure whether or not Janelle would go back,
Right.
because she tried, which I get. I did the same thing. I tried thinking about going back to my ex too before I went through the
I think we
divorce.
all have.
Yeah, and then I'm like, but then I got that transcripts of all the shit that he said in his interview. I'm like, never mind,
Yeah.
I'm good. So we've all been there. It's a process. We have to go through it. And she says last year, yes, she would
Um,
have. But
mhm.
now, no. So that should be enough for her to shut it. But so what did I write here? So yeah, they do talk about the whole patriarchy thing, and the fact that he said he wants to have patriarchal family and be the head of his family. And
Mhm.
she's like, that's not what we talked about. That wasn't in our marriage vows. I don't want that. I want my independence. All of that was, yes, I believe
Yeah.
her. And she says, if that was a part of our marriage vows, I probably wouldn't have married him. And he even says that's something he's done before. And I understand when he's saying that he thinks taking that patriarchal role is him trying to combat any other failures that happen within his family. And it's like, but sir, you fuck the patriarchy. We don't want that. And
Exactly.
you're not going to get that from these four women. Well, probably Robin, but you're not going to get that from these three women who have had their freedom and their independence for however long. You're not going to get
Exactly.
that
No, he's not.
from Robin, sure, because he conflates loyalty to,
Oh, she's loyal 100%.
oh, 100%, but he conflates that as her being the only person who respects him. Loyalty and respect are two different things, and he's put them together. They're two different
Yeah.
things. You can be loyal and not respect somebody.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can you can potentially respect someone and not be loyal, depending on what that loyalty, what you're doing that's being not loyal. But it's they're two different things. He's an idiot. But so we get a little message from him saying 8 weeks ago, Meri told him that she was asking for a divorce / a release. It's called a release in the church. Um, and he's like, I just wanted her to kind of do what she had to do so she would go away. That's what he says. Um,
Ridiculous.
it is ridiculous. Sorry, I have to put my computer in. Okay. Yeah, it is ridiculous. Okay. So yeah, she says that she does not want to spend eternity with him, especially if he doesn't want to be with her in the physical world. So, I think that
I
makes
agree.
sense.
I agree.
Yeah, because again, in their religion, they believe that you spend all eternity with each other. So yeah. Um, so she says he kind of resisted with the idea of her going to to the church to have the release done. And I think it's not so much that he obviously didn't resist because he doesn't want her to do it, but it's I think more about the fact that he just doesn't believe in this faith anymore.
No, I don't think he
Um,
believes in it either.
no.
Because
He does,
especially the way how he was speaking about it, like, oh, I don't want to deal with their bullshit. Da, 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 da. It's just like,
yeah.
but this is the bullshit that you guys like.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to be a part of the FLDS to be a polygamist. We've seen that on Sister Wives, Seeking Sister Wives. So you don't have to be a part of the FLDS church to do that. And that's what they were. They were part of FLDS. But um, if he don't no longer believes in that, then I get that. Christine doesn't really either anymore. Um, I mean, Meri hasn't really talked a lot about about where she's at in her faith. Janelle seems to still be there, but it's um I mean, you know, you go in and out of your faith, and if he's not there anymore with it, it's fine.
Mhm.
Um uh but yeah, so they he resisted with that. He just wanted her to go away. Do what you want to do. He just wanted her to go away. And it's just like, you're so fucking rude.
Oh
But
yeah.
she wants you to go away too, which is why she's doing this. She's just telling you she's doing it. I don't think she
Mhm.
necessarily wanted you to be there so she can do it.
Right. Just leave her alone.
Yeah, she's telling you to tell you.
Yeah.
He says it's been over for years and all of that. And again, I think we said this before, is I just feel like he's the kind of person who doesn't know how to do the breakup and kind of just waits for the woman to do the breakup. And it's like he says it's been over for years. I believe you. Yeah, it's been over for years. But then why didn't you just tell her that?
Exactly.
Why couldn't you just be an adult and say, Meri, it's over? I would have had more respect for you if you did that back in
Me
Vegas,
too.
you know? But he says like
I
he did
think that he also
try.
used her for money.
You think?
I think so, because she was working, right? And there was
Mm,
also something else I read that Kody and Robin opened up business accounts together
mm.
in their children's names. So all their initials, and it's something like that. I have to find it again for you to see it. But they opened an account, a business account to where TLC will pay them directly because from what I understood, TLC was paying them as a whole.
Right.
And I guess they would just split that money evenly.
Hmm.
But then when they started to go their separate ways, everyone started to open up their own business account. So that way everyone can get paid, directly.
Okay, finish what you were saying. Sorry, I take a quick break. So finish what you were saying.
Um, so they all open separate accounts so
Hmm.
they can individually get paid. Lo and behold, Kody and Robin set up an account in their children's names and their initials, and then Kody and Robin's initials, to where they would also get paid separately before any of the other wives. So apparently, Robin and Kody were getting paid separately, and no other wives knew, and nor could they get paid separately.
So this is when they were together. They
Yeah,
had opened up a separate thing either way and were being paid and
Yes.
they didn't know.
And that, yes.
So was he double dipping?
Yes. I have to send you the TikTok. TikTok has so much information about this. I'll send you the TikTok so you can understand what I'm saying.
No, I understand what you're saying. They double dipped.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
And I think the last person to open up a business account is uh Christine. Is it Christine? I
Christine?
forget- I get them so mixed up. The chubby one.
Oh fuck. Janelle.
Janelle. There we go. Not trying to be rude. I just get them mixed up. There's too much. Fuck. Like there's too much women to keep up with. Like fuck.
But
So yeah, she was the last one that opened up a business account to get paid.
see, I remember hearing a while back, I never got the details, but I remember hearing a while back that was it them? Maybe it's not them, and I'm getting this incorrect, but I'm just gonna say it's them, but if it's someone else, you guys correct me. But I remember hearing that he, when they would get paid, wouldn't actually put money aside for the kids, like when they were underage. So this would have been like in the beginning. And the money wasn't going to the kids,
The money was never went to the kids.
which you cannot do. Like if they're supposed to be getting paid, you're supposed to be putting that on trust.
Yep.
Like that was a whole issue between Gary Coleman and his family because he wasn't getting paid. His mom was taking the money and spending it. And that's why he was broke. He had no money. You
Wow.
can't do that. But again, it might not be them. I might be wrong. It could be the plots. I don't know. But I definitely but they probably do that. They probably do that. They don't probably pay like
Oh, God.
put money aside for the kids in a trust or something. I don't know. Then
So
again,
wait,
maybe.
question.
Okay.
Why don't they film in the house?
Um, Kody and Robin's house
Yeah.
because of the whole COVID thing. That's when they stopped filming inside the house. We have not been inside that house since they first moved into the house. Remember, we were inside the house with an actual camera crew in 2019. So whenever they were doing Christmas, that's whatever year it was, I don't remember.
Yeah.
Um I think it was Christmas 2019. That's the last time that we were inside the house with an actual camera crew. They don't want anyone inside the house because of COVID. Even though like COVID's still a thing. Let's not get that twisted. But
Mm-hmm.
we're not in pandemic levels anymore.
I feel like they're hiding stuff.
Maybe they are. Because again, like, you have like when you hear someone say like, "Oh, I've seen the art that they have in the house and this and that." Someone clocked, I can't remember exactly what it was. It was a piece of furniture of some sort. Or it might have even been an appliance. It's either like an appliance or a piece of furniture. I can't remember, but someone clocked it and said that costs thousands of dollars. Thousands of dollars. That's just that one thing. But it's clear that the shit in that house is expensive.
Yep.
I mean, when you first meet these guys back in 2010, Kody's driving in a sports car. And I remember my first question being, where did you get them? Like, what do you do to afford that car? I
Yep.
still don't know what he did, what he does. I
And
have
what his
no
like,
clue.
neither do I, because what is your money tied up in?
It's a good question. But the problem here's the thing. I don't want to talk bad about Mormons. I'm not talking bad about Mormons when I say this, but there are a lot of people who are a part of the LDS church or even FLDS church, either way, Mormon, who do a lot of um, MLMs, multi-level marketing.
Mm-hmm.
And there's not there's not a lot of people that I don't hear that about. Janelle, she doesn't know. She's a part of an MLM. And she's friends with Molly from 90 Day, who is also a part of that MLM. Mm-hmm. Um, like not to talk bad on the dead, but um the guy, I can't remember his name. I know his first name's Jason, but the guy who Jodi Arias killed years back,
Mm-hmm.
horrible. But he was part of an MLM. He was high up a part of an MLM, and he was Mormon. So it's just like y'all are y'all do some sketchy shit because MLM's a sketch. That's you're just steps away from being a part of a cult when you do an MLM. Just steps away. So it's I do wonder, but I don't know. I'm just speculating.
Mm.
But it has been confirmed that Janelle is a part of an MLM. That's not news. But anyway, I've tried to watch this show and not think about that, but it's hard not to think about that with these people.
Wow.
So
All
this
that.
is where he talks about the fact like he doesn't want to be with someone where he like someone's gonna be mad at him all the time, the spearmint comment and all that. Um and he's like, a man cannot request a divorce. I mean, maybe, yeah, that's true. Sure, but really? You still can communicate, though, to your wife that you're not happy and you don't want to be a part of this anymore.
Yeah.
Accordingly. Like, what?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, he's like, I didn't necessarily want one. I want to make it work and all of that. And I don't know if I believe him. I don't know if I believe that he wanted to make this work because one minute you're saying to us that you would certain things would happen, but then you would say, "Oh, but Christine said she didn't want you to get back with Meri." What are you talking about? But then again, there's also a world where I can believe that Christine did say that, but Christine doesn't dictate what you do in your other marriages. So,
Nope.
yeah, he says that, he didn't necessarily want to leave his other wives or whatever, but Robin is loyal. So I am loyal to her. Okay. She's not loyal. You're mistaking loyalty and submission. That's what she does. She submits. And that's exactly what you want her to do. And what your other wife would not ever do.
Exactly.
Um,
She's a
Kody,
fucking puppet. Like,
yeah, pulling the strings. Um, the one thing though that I think Kody was correct here was when he said that Janelle just wants to sweep this under the rug, that um she doesn't want to deal with it. And I do agree with him that that is kind of how Janelle is. She's not
right.
confrontational. So she doesn't want to deal with the shit, and that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're going through like a separation, divorce, whatever, it's tough, but you kind of have to confront it. You can't hide behind other things.
Yeah, you can't.
But then the text thread about the whole Christmas thing comes back up again. I want receipts. I'm done with this shit. I want receipts. I want to know what happened.
Yeah.
But this is where her older daughters, Robin's older daughters, say, no one made us feel welcome. They literally said to us that like we weren't like a part of the family, that we weren't their siblings. We were like told that. And I'm like,
I love how they
shut.
give it. I love how they give throwbacks.
Yeah. Yeah. To basically to show that that's trolling at its finest. To basically show you were a part of this. No one made you feel, yes, this was going to be a change because everyone is used to what they were used to. You're the addition. Her and her three kids were the addition, and it's going to take some time. But I don't think anyone is that horrific that they're going to literally be like, you're not our sister. No
Exactly.
one's going to do that to you. You're full of shit, just like your mom. Yep.
Well, that's where they're learning it from.
That is where they're learning it from. If I like cry a lot, because she cries a lot, and if I spew bullshit out of my mouth because she spews bullshit out of my mouth, then y'all will believe us. So fuck you. They're adults. I can say that. So it's just I'm over that. I'm
Yeah,
over
me too.
everybody, honestly. But
Yep.
when they came on the screen and said that shit, and Christine's like, no, that never happened. Of course they were always invited.
Run the tape.
Policy. Yeah. Yeah. Run the footage. Like, what the hell?
Yep.
You're full of shit. You're just trying to rewrite history because you too, let's not mix up loyalty. You're submitting to him.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he likes you more. That's why he's around you guys more
Yep.
because you give him everything he wants.
Exactly. Stupid.
And like I don't. It's hard for me to not blame them, but I'm not gonna blame them. I'm gonna blame Robin. You didn't
Yeah, Robin's
protect
a
your
good one to
kids.
blame.
You didn't protect your kids from their father. You didn't protect your kids from their stepfather.
Exactly.
These kids need therapy, is what they need. The smartest thing that ever happened was her son, just saying, fuck y'all.
Yep,
I
I'm
mean, I don't
done.
think he said that, but I like to hope.
Yeah,
Because the last thing he needs is this kind of bullshit. It's too much for someone
exactly.
who's autistic. They process very differently. So it's,
Yep.
bullshit.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. But that's basically it. Anything else you want to throw in there with this episode?
No, I can't think of anything else right now. Like the main person that irritated me was was that woman. Like I said, there's too many of them.
Christine.
Yeah, her. God. Like, I just found her really annoying.
Yeah, she was really.
Very
I've
annoying, very
always thought that.
irritating.
I've always thought that about Christine, that she's really annoying.
Yeah, like she really irritated me with this one because I was just like, they're ridiculous.
She's back to her old self this season, let me tell you. Because I'm just like,
Oh
can't,
God.
can't. But yeah, that's that. Um, I know I said we're gonna get you on a B90 episode. We'll talk about it off recording, but did you see the story with Brian when he talked about what happened in his accident? I'm like, wait a minute, wait a minute. First of all, A, you're lying to this girl by by your age. I what do you I told you I'm 51. What are you talking
You're
about?
such a You're such a liar.
Fucking
Stop.
lying.
Stop.
Did I tell you that he's legally married to someone else? I
Oh
didn't
my
tell you. Oh, let me find the story and I'll read it to you. But when he said my ex-wife ordered the hit, I'm like, God, this is my true crime podcast come to life. Let me tell you. This is some
God.
Dateline shit. Where is Keith Morrison? We need a story. It's ridiculous. Um, but yeah, when I found this out, so this is we already talked about it on the podcast already, but this was thanks to I think I got rid of it. Shit, let me find it in my gallery. Um, thanks to Ava, my friend who was on the podcast. She sent this to me. It was on Meri Pants. I don't know if you've heard of Meri Pants on
Uh-uh.
Instagram. Um, but she sent this to me. So his current wife's name is Francilia. Do you see that?
Oh yeah, I see that.
That's his current wife. They have maintained a long distance relationship since 2017 and became engaged in 2019. And they shared their journey on YouTube, amassing over 3,000 subscribers and forming friendships across the US.
Oh my God.
Since posting that tea, it's coming about Brian and my story. I have been contacted by additional women with claims related to Brian. They were going to anticipate another update. I've been watching. I haven't seen anything yet. But he actually lived in Brazil with this girl. Yeah, he moved to Brazil. And um he also has been uh so she found out that he was cheating, that he's talking to other women.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we see him talking to Ingrid here.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's filed for divorce. The divorce process is reportedly complicated, with Brian allegedly concealing assets by transferring his car and home to other names. This could potentially be a strategy to influence the division of assets, which is typically split 50-50 in Brazil. Um, yeah, skipped a whole bit. I'll show you this picture too. There have been reports suggesting that Brian may have been involved with other women during their marriage. This is supported by Brian's appearance with Ingrid on the show, and Brazilian court documents indicate that divorce proceedings have been ongoing since summer of 2023. And that's the last one. A whole bunch of women. Yeah. This man. Yeah, so they got married officially in 2022. Um, yeah, there's another picture of them. Yeah.
He needs to get off the damn show.
I'm so mad because I'm like, dude,
I'm sorry, but
we
his
all
whole
rooted for
situation,
you. Oh, I did.
about the whole carjacking, killing, whatever. It's just like, okay.
I
And then you're
mean,
gonna sit there and talk about, oh, I told you that I was using drugs.
to in his defense though, her kind of being like thinking he's gonna do it all over again. My girl, he's been out of the game for 25 years. Now, it's a good
Yeah.
question to ask. Would you have continued if it weren't for your accident or incident? Yes. That's a good question to ask.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but you're never gonna know the answer to that. At the end of the day, he's not doing drugs. He's changed his life around where that's
Yeah.
concerned anyways. Um, but yeah, he screwed us.
Wow.
So if I got ruined, I'm gonna ruin you. Where Brian's concerned.
I agree.
Oh God. Anyway, but that's it for Sister Wives. So if you like what you heard, please rate, review the podcast on either Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Also, don't forget that you can also share us with everyone in your life if you really love this. And I do want to read those reviews. I'm definitely getting 5-star ratings, but I want to read those reviews. So send me those reviews and I will read those 4 and 5-star reviews on the podcast. Also, we're on every one of your favorite podcast apps. Every one of them, including you can find us on YouTube at Reality Tea Times 2. If you want to connect with us, you can do so by going to either Facebook or Instagram at Reality Tea Times 2. You can also find us on Twitter, TikTok, Reddit at Reality Tea Times 2 Pod. We also have our email, which is at realityteatimes2 at hotmail.com. Definitely want to hear from you guys. And we also have our new website where you can listen to all of these episodes. You can review the podcast on there as well. You can connect with me in any way, all the stuff. It's all there, and you can find me there at www.realityteatimes2, all spelled out, dot podpage.io. It's there. And don't forget, I also have my other podcast with my friend Mikkel, Next Take Podcast, where we talk about all kinds of different topics. But you can find us on any of your favorite podcast apps over there as well. Or you can also go to YouTube and you go to Next Take Podcast, as well as our website, which is solo.to/Next Take Podcast. So yeah, there's that, and that's basically that. And again, don't forget, if all of this information is overwhelming, we do have all of the links, everything in our show notes. But that is it for now, guys. Thanks. Bye.